Welcome to the Mo Show, episode 6. I'm Aiden, joined with Tyrone.
You're
Israel.
It's all good. It's all good.
I guess.
Israel. And then we got Skylar behind the camera there. Audience, get your money shot.
We already have ours.
Yep, our shots of apple cider. You know how it is.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I got it.
Cheers, boys. It's Christmas. It's Christmas weekend, baby.
Yep.
Let's get it done.
Sir.
All right, so there's another reason I wanted to start this show.
Okay.
I have gifts. I have come with gifts.
Okay.
Oh.
I got one for you too.
No way, bro.
So,
Surprise me.
Oh, fuck. Never mind.
so if you want to open it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
The color didn't come out like I wanted.
Hey, it's
But-
cool.
Yeah.
But
Actually.
yeah, the reason I have this jacket on because I have the shit on. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, bro.
Look at this.
Hey yo, and this shit,
Beautiful.
this shit
Hey.
kind of tight, bro.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna keep this stack.
I might.
This shit makes me look fucking shredded.
Hey, bro. Hold on.
Even better.
Let me put this on real quick, bro. Hold on. Let me step out of frame.
Yeah, I mean you look good though, so it's like you already got the turtleneck and shit.
Hey, nah. I
Hey, yo,
want to be a part of the crew. I want to be
Fair,
a staff.
You know what? Me too. Hold on. Hold on, guys.
Hold up.
All right, so now I'm on camera alone.
body, wait!
Hey yo, the mic's still on.
I'm getting choked.
Make it-
I'm getting choked by my own necklace, bro. Like.
Shit. Was that the first Skylar sighting on cam?
Wait.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah,
all
no,
right.
the colors kind of piss me off. I'm not gonna lie, but whatever. It's all good.
It's the start.
First rendition. Now I know not to. We have to make a new logo for the shirts, but whatever. It's all good.
Original.
They get it. Yeah, these are the original 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
This
won't
is
be
fire,
ever these
actually.
4 again.
Holy
So yeah.
Shit.
Hey, I'm gonna have to
Okay.
go back to you guys.
Okay.
Maybe we get a picture after the show.
All right. All right.
Oh no, we definitely have to.
Yeah, for sure.
I gotta work
Yeah.
out though. I gotta feel it more like
Yeah,
that.
maybe we get a picture after the
All
show.
right.
All right. On to the topics now.
All right.
We don't
all
have
right.
Christmas
That's a
topics,
good-
but
that's
it's
a
all
good
good. No, it's all good. So, speaking of working out,
Okay.
one thing that has been a big topic in the gym community and stuff is that society is decreasing testosterone in guys, right?
Truth.
Soy does it. I don't think soy decreases testosterone; it just increases estrogen. Correct. So it does.
believe
I
so.
don't know.
That's-
And we're what were you gonna say?
That's actually a good topic that we were earlier discussing. That every decade, it's statistically proven
Yep.
that male's testosterone has been decreasing each decade.
Yeah.
And so it's just crazy to me how they poison our waters. This is a whole bigger topic that we're literally going to discuss here on the Mo Show today. But basically, bro, they have it in our food, they have it in our water, and this is why you see more of a rise in women having more testosterone, more masculine energy than you see in guys.
Yep.
This is actually a tactic used in strategy of war. You make the men weaker, and then from that, it's easier to control. As simple as that.
Absolutely, yeah. Because testosterone is more than just big, strong, angry. Testosterone is like what men have to have in order to be men, basically. You know what I mean? Like mentally, like the hormone is way bigger than just gaining muscle. It's way bigger than that. Testosterone helps decrease stress in men, like that sort of thing. It's the hormone men need, basically, right?
Better brain function.
Yeah, everything, right? So testosterone is needed in guys. That being said, I have recently, with the new year coming, I've decided to try to up my gains to the maximum amount, right?
Okay.
I'm going to start taking vitamins. So in that, I've researched a few different herbs, right? These are natural, so it's not like you're doing steroids using these.
Right.
They just will help your testosterone be used more efficiently.
Yeah, they're basically plants
Right.
that help you, like a supplement, basically.
Exactly,
like
yeah.
Creatine.
Exactly. So it's a supplement but will allow your testosterone to be used more efficiently, so you're not wasting your time, basically. Especially if you've been lifting for, I would say, 2 to 3 plus years. You'll hit a plateau pretty hard, which is normal. So you want to make sure while you're in the gym, you're making the most out of your time,
Right.
especially if you're going to hit that plateau naturally anyways.
What is it, like 2 years?
2 to 3 years, I think, depending on how hard you go.
Yeah.
I know I'm a year, 2.5 years in, and I've probably 6 days a week. So it's like I'm seeing a decrease in the amount of production I'm having, which is fine. You expect that, but you want to make the most out of your time. So
Exactly.
I wrote a literal research paper, kind of, not really. It's just, a sheet of paper with a bunch of bullet points, a bunch of stuff. So here.
Professor Aiden. Professor Aiden's first appearance on Mo. Hold on, okay.
Okay, I can't read with these. Just
First score in 7 years ago.
I can't read with you. All right, so the first one I'm going to go over is what's called Tonga Ali. It's picked up a lot of steam
Okay.
recently, but there's still not much information on it because it's one of those things that people are afraid of because they haven't heard of it. You know what I mean? Everyone's okay with protein
Right.
because you've heard of it. You know what I mean? Like everyone knows you should take protein after your workout, but no one's heard of this yet.
It's kind of like how people think creatine is like a steroid in some sense.
Yeah,
You get me?
because
they don't know about it.
Because unless you're in it, you don't know what it is, right?
Yep.
This is one of those. This is a newer example of that. Like I said before, though, this is not a steroid. This is natural. It just boosts the testosterone you have in your body. So, Tonga Ali, I have some information on it as well.
Yeah.
It's found in Indochina, Indonesia, and the Philippines. It's Tonga Ali that you take is an extract from another plant.
So the plant is it found in like Asia countries?
Yeah. So it's more of the equator Asian countries, right?
Okay, I see.
So Tonga Ali that you take in the pill or whatever, or the powder, is just the extract from another plant.
What's that other plant?
I can't even try to pronounce the name of that plant. So
Do you have it down there?
So-
I do not.
basically-
I have it in my notes.
Yeah.
Extract from a plant I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce.
There's no way it says that. I would be, wait.
Top bullet point.
Okay.
I'm prepared.
But-
I was prepared for that question.
You know what? I kind of did like a little study. You can use it like as a tea or like as a powder like pill form, right?
Yeah.
like tea.
So Tonga Ali actually has a bunch of different ways you can take it. Most notably in the U.S., you're going to find it in the pill though, because it's mostly weightlifters using it.
Like ashwagandha.
So yeah, exactly. So
Americans like popping
that's actually what I
pills.
want to talk about next. I researched on that too. So let's get to what Tonga Ali does. There was a 2013 study. This is the study I read, so I want to give them credit.
Okay.
Just in case any of the audience wants to look it up as well. I don't have the name, but it was done by Sean Talbot, Julie Talbot, Annie George, and Mike Pugh. So I'm not going to go into everything their study consisted of and the method and stuff, but it was a 4-week study, and they took 200 milligrams a day. Tonga Ali is taking 200 milligrams to 400 milligrams. So this is actually the bottom half of it. And this is most of the pills you'll find, like in the stores, like I just recently bought, it's 400. Like you can't find 200s. Okay. So this is 200. So this is the effects they had in 4 weeks on 200 milligrams of Tonga Ali daily.
Yeah.
Tension, what they consider tension, right? Like in your blood, chemically, that sort of thing in your brain. Down 11%. This is male and women, 32 men, 32 women. So it's half and half.
Okay.
Tension down 11%. Anger down 12%. Oh, but I thought testosterone makes you angry. Not true. It's just the steroids that make you angry. And then confusion, what they deemed confusion, I guess, fog, you know that, down 15%. That was all done by, there's a certain test that you can take that, can scale your emotions, right? So that's not an accurate way to say anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was the percentage. I don't know how you can get percentages in that. But what really matters is this. Cortisol was down 16%. Okay, cortisol, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Testosterone plus 37%.
Whoa.
37% in 4 weeks.
God.
In just a month?
Yeah. 37% of anything is absurd. Absolutely absurd. Keep in mind, Tonga Ali is used in these Asian countries as a form of Viagra. It's a natural Viagra. But the studies show that it helps weightlifters, right?
Okay.
Yeah. But it's basically a natural Viagra, okay?
I heard that it increases testosterone by 100 to 200 points in men.
Yeah. Yeah, so that 37%,
Yeah.
I think, did you see that on Dr. Huberman on the Joe Rogan?
Yep.
Yeah, so the points, that's about 37%. It's 200 points. It's like the testosterone levels are way different. They scaled it in percentage, but that's what it is. 200 points, basically, just like blood level or whatever.
Yeah.
Tonga Ali has no known side effects long term. No known side effects. So the only downside to really using it is really how it affects you.
You know, I would think that because since it's a plant, it would be a supplement meshed down into a powder.
Yeah. So since it's a plant, there's hardly any side effects to plants. A vast majority of the time, right? You can't say it all the time, but most of the time, if you're going, more plant-wise, there's a reason that people are using these plants in these countries that they might just live off the land. There's a reason they're using these plants. It's because they aren't known to affect anyone long-term, or else they would have stopped using them. If they suspected, this plant caused a heart attack or whatever. Even if they live off the land, that plant caused him to die, so I'm not going to use it anymore.
Right.
And I mean, the Asian countries have been civilized, not civilized, but lived in, I guess, for what? Thousands and thousands of years. So it's these plants obviously have a purpose, right? Yeah. So Tonga Ali, I'm personally going to start taking it. Mine gets delivered tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So apparently, though, if you start taking it for the audience and you guys, if you want to, I guess, the first 2 weeks, you don't feel anything. It takes 2 weeks to really kick into your system type thing. Your body starts accepting it. So it takes 2 weeks, and then after the 2 weeks is when you start feeling the effects. So I'm going to start taking it.
Yeah.
And then we'll see how I feel, basically.
Let me know on the 14th day,
yeah,
bro.
I got you. Because it's just it affects everyone's body differently as well. So it's there's no known side effects. The fact that there were 64 people in this study, probably a good sign, right?
You're going to come back with a mustache.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah. So
I'm gonna be honest with you though. This can sound stupid as heck and completely wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like most side effects and long-term issues come from additives and a bunch of BS chemicals and stuff people add in during manufacturing processes.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's all all because they're trying to stretch things out, make it cheaper, cost, all that BS. But if you keep it natural,
exactly.
Who knows? Right. It could be the best thing to ever use. Who knows?
Exactly. Keep in mind, I got a 30 capsule container of Tonga Ali, $10. So if you're talking cost effective, you can't even find created chemicals for that price.
I mean,
So a full month for me,
Yeah.
$10. I mean,
10 little capsules for Claritin for me was like freaking $40.
yeah, that's what I'm
So
saying.
that kind of makes me mad. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I'm kind of mad.
No, so that's what I'm saying, right?
Easy clutch.
Shoot.
Yeah. Next, I researched ashwagandha, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
that's what I'm
yeah,
taking right now.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the first two that I'm going over here
Yeah.
are pretty accepted. Try taking them, right? The last two, we'll get there. Okay,
no.
we'll
Oh,
get
no.
there. Those are pretty crazy. But so ashwagandha found in India, Middle East, Africa. Again, Africa's the longest
Yeah.
continent that we've lived on. So the plant is there for a fucking reason. Okay, it's that simple, right?
Yeah.
Typically taken 600 milligrams a day, but the manufacturers of the pills put 600 in it. They know it, right? So it seems like a lot, but that's just what you got to take.
It's
You know
just
what I mean?
one pill size.
Yeah, they
It's like
just shove it
literally
in.
like a pill.
Exactly, you
Yeah.
got it. 2012 study. I don't know how to pronounce these names. Chandrasekhar. Okay, that's the only one I'm going to try to pronounce. So you know if you try to look up the study.
Yeah.
64 subjects again. What they did was they took in this study 300 milligrams twice a day. So rather than taking the full 600, they took it separately. I don't know if that would change anything. Maybe it's because 600, your body just like gets rid of half of it anyways, like in your piss.
So
But
I researched when is the best time to take ashwagandha, and you could take it in the morning, you could take it at night. But if you take it at night, I guess one of the qualities is that it gives you a better quality sleep.
yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, yeah. So tell me more. Bro.
Yeah, so the reason it increases sleep is because in this study, stress in these people by one of the the emotion tests. So you can't take it 100%. It's just like perception of your stress, basically, down 44%. So that's good. That's another reason you might see on TikTok or whatever. This is where ashwagandha got popular. It kills people's emotions. Personally, I don't think it kills emotions. It just kills the bad emotions, and that's sometimes all people know. Okay?
Don't mind the water.
That's true.
So, the other, on average, anxiety, depression, and social dysfunction was down on average 70%. So if you're taking those emotions out, you can see that your emotions feel killed.
Yeah.
Because you might be taking the only emotions out that you feel. Because in anxiety, you're only feeling that depression, you're feeling that stress.
A lot of people feel like depressed, anxiety.
Exactly. So if you're taking those emotions out, you might feel that they kill your emotions purely because that's all you felt.
Yeah.
So now you feel nothing, which is a good thing, right? So
In which case, in long term, it is better because now it's going to help you learn and open up to those other ones. Because,
Yeah.
honestly, personally, I went through it. That's all I felt when I got out of it. And the lost person, I was like, oh,
I don't know.
It's
I
like
feel
losing
I
a
feel
part of yourself.
Exactly,
Some
yeah.
people put like a bad stigma to ashwagandha because it kills your emotions.
that's the thing. I want to get rid of that because that's how it got popular on TikTok.
Yeah.
Was it kills your... I've been on ashwagandha for 2 months. I haven't felt a thing. I mean, I think that's overblown anyways. But it also decreased cortisol by 27.9%. So there's two things in a row that's cortisol. So what does cortisol do?
It's like a stress level hormone, right?
Yep, you got it. So
Gotcha.
cortisol, that's why I waited to explain it. Cortisol is what causes stress. So when cortisol is out of your bloodstream, you'll feel less stress naturally. Cortisol, I forget what part of your brain or your body exerts it.
Isn't it the thyroid?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I
I know thyroid helps regulate like certain chemicals, stuff like that.
yeah, thyroid's a bunch of
Which is why
hormones.
if you
So.
get
Yeah,
your
it
thyroid
definitely
taken out, you have to take pills because
Exactly.
otherwise you're gonna get mad and your emotions all out of whack.
Exactly. So cortisol being down is what causes this stuff to be better, right?
Yeah.
Cortisol also, in the case of Tonga Ali, cortisol takes away from testosterone. So by killing cortisol, you can increase testosterone just naturally if you decrease your cortisol in your bloodstream. So that's another benefit. So
The natural, that's what you were talking about earlier, the natural part of it.
Yeah. So usually, I'm usually in the stock market every morning, and so I'm dealing with like high levels of stress and everything, And so when I heard about ashwagandha, that it would reduce my stress, let me tell you guys, it definitely does help. And then I took it once at night. It definitely helped me with better, like, sleep. And I was like, I slept like a baby, honestly. And so, like, let me describe to you how I felt when I, like, literally, when 6:30 a.m. hit, I popped 2 pills of ashwagandha. And I can tell you, like, I felt focused. Not only that, but in a sense, I didn't fear or stress what was going on with investors and how the market was moving. I felt in control, and just that type of stuff. I feel like more better as, like, as a man, basically.
Exactly. And this is all natural. This isn't taking an antidepressant that has chemicals you can't even pronounce.
Yeah, it's literally a plant.
It's just a plant, right? So it's like probably beneficial, right? I want to take ashwagandha, but that's going to be my next step.
Yeah.
I want to start with Tonga Ali because let's say I have a side effect. I want to pinpoint what caused that side effect. Like, say something starts happening with me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, Tonga Ali caused that, rather than me taking Tonga Ali, ashwagandha, a bunch of stuff, and then I'm like, I can't pinpoint what caused it, so I'm stopping one, even though it might have not caused it, right?
Yeah.
So
I also researched with ashwagandha that it also helps with blood flow.
Yeah.
Not only also to the brain, which I feel like that's another subject. Once you're done talking, we're gonna go over, like, the mind, which is very powerful, bro.
Absolutely.
Powerful.
Absolutely. And this stuff all has to deal with the mind, right? Because like all this stuff is directly causing changes in your mind and your mindset, especially testosterone as a man, decreasing cortisol, that sort of thing. It's going to directly change how you think. Third, this is one of the ones that Dr. Huberman went over on Joe Rogan that you showed me.
Yeah.
Fedosia agrestis. I think that's how you pronounce it.
I saw that.
So this is one of the ones where it's kind of pushing it. Okay. I don't know if I take this one. I'm going to keep it a stack. He promoted it. He said it's good, right? Because I watched the rest of that interview that night after you showed me. But after looking at the studies, I might wait a little bit to start taking this one. Maybe when I start seeing another plateau in the gym or something like that. Because at the end of the day, this is why I'm taking it, is for the gym. So maybe once I see another plateau. But basically, this is found in Nigeria. You take 1,200 milligrams daily. So that's quite a bit. Just like, but again, they squash it in a pill. So it's not like an absurd amount. That's just what you have to take to feel effects.
Yeah.
The thing that kind of stresses me out about this one is there are very limited studies on this at all. I found a single study, wasn't even done on humans. It was just rats. It was rats.
No.
So that's why I don't want to take it right now, right?
I'm glad they compare us to rats.
Yeah, so it was only this study, the only one I could find. Keep in mind I didn't study that long, but I was also looking at a bunch of cross references, and all of them referenced this one about the rats. So I was like, this must be the only like real one right now.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going to stay away from it for now, by the way.
What did it do?
And it was done in 2005.
Oh.
So it's like, it's a long time, and there's not many studies done on it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
600% increase in testosterone.
Yeah.
That's actually steroid level. Keep in mind, this is a plant though. This is a plant.
Let me see this really quick.
In the rats. In the rats.
This
This sounds like a Harry Potter spell, I swear.
A Harry Potter spell. No way.
makes balls bigger.
Yeah.
I'm on that.
Why are you reading down? Wait.
Yeah, so it
that's
also
what I
makes your balls bigger, apparently, from the people I've used it.
Oh.
You know what? That's fair though. That's fair because I heard the same thing about Tonga.
Yeah, yeah. But that one, it's way less amounts of testosterone increase, right?
I serious. It's still a plant.
It's natural. Yeah, it's a plant.
It's not antibiotic. Antibiotic.
Bro.
Yeah. Naturally, like increasing testosterone. Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
what you're trying to say?
Anabolics.
Increasing
Oh,
testosterone. Yeah.
Oh, my fault, bro.
Increasing testosterone is going to make your parts bigger, right?
Yeah.
The reason steroids decrease it is because it's such a huge increase, right?
Yeah.
So that's the same thing with. I feel like I'm about to say a racial slur by trying to say this. I swear to God,
Say it.
like Fedosia. I feel like I'm actually saying a racial slur. I can't. Anyways,
It still sounds
It's
like
a Harry
spell.
Potter spell.
It still
Yeah.
sounds like a
Oh, yeah.
spell.
Fucking spell.
so yeah, 600% increase in these
Make
rats.
them fall in love.
Like these rats must have had delts of like steel, right? I don't know. That's why I'm staying away from it. 600% increase is insane.
You see a
You know
rat
what?
stabbing another rat with steroids.
Yeah.
and
Pull up
like,
Demon Slayer rats. That's what I'm picturing now. That's exactly, you know what I'm talking about? That's exactly what I'm picturing. It's the freaking rats from Demon Slayer.
Maybe if my computer wasn't ancient. So yeah, that's why I'm staying away from Tonga Ali. Not Tonga Ali, fucking Fedocia. What the hell?
Typing, bro.
What am I looking up? Oh.
Demon Slayer rat. Yeah, them both. That's what I'm picturing. These rats look like.
Yo, that's actually
That's what they do look like, bro. Okay, so yeah, that's why I'm staying away from it. Holy hell.
No fair.
Okay,
Holy.
moving on to my fourth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you thought that last one was bad.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
This one is also a plant. It's called Tribulus terrestris. Why do all these sound like Harry Potter spells, bro? Okay, this is native to South Eurasia and Africa. Again, it's in the African continent, so it's used for a reason, I guess.
Yeah.
1,500 milligrams daily. A few studies on humans, but most of them are on animals again. So this is another one where it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not a steroid, or not considered a steroid, because it was from plants. And even the nutrition place I go to has it. So it's... The nutrition place I go to has all of these, except for Fedocia, by the way. So these three are in like nutrition places. So it's like it's not a steroid because the nutrition places cannot sell steroids legally.
Yeah.
Right.
Testosterone was up 30 to 40% based on age. So that's not a huge jump. The older you got, the more testosterone actually boosted. So the older you get, I guess you can use it. The reason that I'm against it is because certain sports leagues have banned it. You can't have it in your system. So it's like, okay, there's something manufactured there. There's something that the sports leagues don't like.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of international sports league and stuff have it banned. So it's like, it's not used enough in the US, I don't think. I don't think any of the US ones have it banned. Just because it's not used enough. So they don't even care to ban it, right?
Yeah.
One of the adults in the study developed seizures because of it. So it's like, okay, how serious is this thing,
yeah.
right? Another study concluded that in lifting adults, it created no advantage, didn't see any change in body composition. So it's like, what is this even boosting testosterone for? What is it doing?
Yeah.
That's why I'm against, like, I'm not for this last one, because I'm like, there's not enough literature on it at all.
Yeah.
And the studies have shown it doesn't do anything. So why would you take it? What is it putting in your system?
Yeah.
If it's increasing testosterone but not showing any body composition changes, what is it actually doing with your testosterone? That's weird to me.
weird.
It doesn't add up, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't add up. So yeah, it's kind of considered a steroid since the sports leagues have it banned. It
And it
increases recovery by testosterone, but it doesn't increase body composition. Very weird to me. I ain't going to take it.
Too many questions.
I ain't going to
so
take it.
there's no many benefits to it, right? Or
I mean, theoretically there is because of the 30 to 40% increase, but there, for me, right, I'm taking this for the gym.
Yeah.
I don't care unless there's body composition changes, right?
Yeah.
True.
So, I don't know. That's why I'm against those last two. I'm not going to take those last two until at least there's some more literature on them, I guess.
Yeah.
But the first two, Tonga, Ali, and Ashwagandha, they're becoming more popular. I would say
You got me
maybe
on
try
that
them.
one, bro. I
Right.
want bigger balls.
So yeah.
Who
Also,
doesn't, you know?
Also, Tonga, Ali, and Ashwagandha were both sold out at my nutrition store because I asked the clerk that was there, and she says, "Did it like do well on TikTok? Because like they're all sold out. Like what's happening?"
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I guess they're kind of doing well. Probably literally the Joe Rogan effect. I'm almost guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like that Dr. Huberman episode just did very well recently. Like a bunch of clips went viral.
Yeah.
Actually, the Joe Rogan effect. I'm actually so serious.
So it just went out of stock.
Yeah, so I don't know. Plus, if you're going to order it, try looking on a few places online. I got mine online for $10 a capsule, like 30 capsules for $10
Yeah.
for Tonga Ali at least. Exact same container at my nutrition store, which is notably cheap, was $30. So it's like if you look online, you might be able to find a few different options.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's just because they don't want them in stores. People aren't buying them enough to mass produce them to put in stores. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the ones that they have in store, they're paying a lot for. So then in turn, you have to spend more to get them in store. That's just my thought.
Right.
I would look online a few because, of course, online is going to be cheaper because they can just hold them in warehouses and not have to worry about them.
So because we're seeing a decrease in testosterone each decade in men, I feel like these supplements are really beneficial if like you want to see like better results in the gym, better brain function, in that sort of stuff. You get me?
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is a supplement. I'm going
Yeah.
to cut you off, sorry.
No. Go.
But let me get on my fitness trainer high horse here.
Yeah.
Go for it.
You have to be doing everything else right. You take creatine, a very notable substance. Almost everyone in the gym takes it. But you aren't eating right. You aren't working out correctly. Creatine is not going to help you. Same thing with here. If you're just new to the gym, I would personally learn how to lift first. Learn how to eat right first. Take the basic supplements. Make sure you're eating enough protein. Take your creatine. And then maybe hop on a few of the bigger supplements.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about taking this stuff if you don't even know how to work out correctly yet. And even if you're just a year into the gym, right? Or maybe 6 months I'll go with. Chances are you don't know how to work out correctly yet. You don't know what failure on a set actually is yet until you're about a year in.
Yeah.
Once you're a year in, you're like, okay, that's failure. What I was doing 6 months ago wasn't failure. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. True.
And even if that's coming from someone that did a lot of research before getting into their, like, my bodybuilding shtick and stuff like that. And I still didn't know what I was doing. Like, if you watch TikTok all the time, you watch these YouTubers, even if you know everything, except you don't, but even if you think you know everything, by watching the stuff that they're saying, you need the experience in the gym first.
Right.
You might see these guys go to failure and you think you're hitting failure, but you're not. You're just not. You're not eating correctly. You know what I mean?
Like, you know, you're only going 40% of what you can in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in order to see gains, you have to be within 40 to 80% of your 1 rep max. That's to see hypertrophy. Anything above 80%, you're getting more strength, right? So you don't have to. Most people, right? You can't even go to failure because you don't have a spotter. Like a failure technically is the weight slamming on your face, but you can't hit that. You don't need to hit absolute failure. You just need to be pushing yourself. So in your first 6 months of lifting, you probably don't even know what that is. So I would not even touch this stuff until you're later on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like ashwagandha it's more so like, you know, because I mean it also helps with like brain function and everything, you know. So
yeah.
I feel like not like leaning towards like don't take it unless if you know what you're actually doing. I mean, because it is a supplement. So I mean, it wouldn't harm you in any way.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
You get me? So I feel like it would be like if you want to see higher results in testosterone, you know, feel better, look better. Because I feel like that's like all perception. You get me?
That's the thing. Ashwagandha is maybe the one exception because it doesn't increase testosterone. So it's not even going to affect you that heavily in the gym itself. Maybe like minus the stress and stuff will help, but not the testosterone like biologically. Stuff like Tonga Ali and the other ones.
So, like with a person that deals with like anxiety.
Yeah, I would not even worry about taking stuff to boost your testosterone until you know what you're doing in the gym, because then you're just wasting your testosterone. You know what I mean? You're increasing testosterone, but then not even using it. So you're in the exact same situation that you were, that your testosterone isn't being used efficiently.
Yeah.
And see, we're even talking to Vance the other day about it and stuff like that, and he was talking about how even if you don't want to take supplements, right? Because you think supplements, you may not even want to take it because you popping pills, all that, whatever, right?
Yeah. Right.
There's other things you can do, like red spinach is one, but
the
there's
nitric
just
oxide?
there's like a certain amount. I don't know, like all research based on how much you can take before, you know, whatever. But even then, even if you don't want to take it to that one yet, even beets helps with increasing testosterone and stuff like that.
Yeah, just minimally, right?
Which probably what I'm gonna start with, just like minimally introducing it more and more, trying to get more into my diet and stuff like that. And then once I do a little more research about something illegal or ashwagandha, then maybe I'll throw that into it as well.
Yeah.
But right now it's gonna start with like just simple foods like beets. Throw beets into like a meal prep.
Yeah, because I mean, like fast food, like the plastic that they
Yeah.
have, that when they're when they're using the gloves and they're wrapping the food, that plastic, it gets stuck on the food even if you can't see it.
Yeah.
It also decreases your testosterone. You start feeling like you can't control your emotions. You start feeling like just shitty in general.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying though. You want to make sure you have the fundamentals right. You know how to work out and you have a good diet. You're drinking enough water, getting enough sleep.
Yeah.
Because even if you're taking this stuff and then you go to McDonald's after your workout, it's you're being useless, right?
Yeah. Fast food isn't even like I've hit a point where like fast food isn't even interesting to me.
It's not even
just
good,
like,
bro.
It doesn't even make you feel good at all.
It's
Like,
not
you
even
feel
good.
your body just generally like, okay, I hate you right now. Eat something good, like homemade. Eat something healthy,
Yeah.
whatever, something. Not fast food.
All it is, what I was researching is, it's all just real estate. Like McDonald's is a good example. You prepare the food really fast. Boom, 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 boom. Here, eat the damn shit.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't really care about you.
Yeah.
So why would you want to go eat at a fast food place anyways?
I mean, in places like that already are gonna because you're in such a high demand in anyways when it comes to fast food and stuff. You're not gonna always use the best quality of things for people. You ain't gonna care. You just want to use less quality things so you can meet those requirements and those demands. And that's gonna come at a lower cost. You're looking for the lower cost things. Why? Because you're selfish. You want to look for your own pockets. That's what you're looking out for yourself.
Right.
Not I want to make sure our people are healthy. No.
What you're saying, bro? Like, I was watching this video, and it showed like how the stomach meshes up the food, and there's no nutrients in that food. So what is it doing? Literally, it's just poisoning you. It's poisoning you. That's all it's doing, and it's just decreasing, testosterone. There's no benefits to it, actually. I'd rather stick to my chicken and rice.
Well, yeah, and the other thing, right, is as someone who doesn't eat fast food much anymore, right? I have fast food, my stomach goes in knots. Like I feel like complete garbage after eating fast food, right? It was good. Most of the time, it's pretty good, right? Like I like the taste.
For the moment.
Yeah, for the moment. It's very short term. Exactly. See what we go back to.
Yep.
The short-term
Short-term
dopamine.
stuff, yeah.
See? But
Literally.
what I'm saying is, I don't know the research behind it, but just as someone who is going through that, when I have stopped eating fast food and now when I eat it, tell me that's not an addiction. Your body gets used to that, and then once you're off of it, now you eat it and it tastes like crap. It's because people that eat fast food all the time, there's some chemical in the fast food, I'm not sure, but it obviously gets you addicted to some sense.
Yep.
Or your body gets used to that crap or something. I don't know how it works, but just from experience, that's how it's got to work. They somehow have something in there that actually addicts you to it.
What's really weird is how they banned the word genetically modified and they turned it into biochemically made in a lab. That's just really weird to me, because it's like, why would you ban the word but still have the same meaning to it? You get me? It's still made in the lab.
Stuff, different
Anything
name.
that's made in a lab is, I swear to you, is bad for you.
Yeah, like eat homemade cookies, right? Fuck your chicken and rice. Eat homemade cookies because that's good for you.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. These ones
Don't judge
slap.
me.
Yeah.
Slap.
All right, let me get the audience on these, right? These are called pizzelles, right?
Yeah.
They're Italian. Very simple to make. This shit probably has maybe 5 calories in this shit, okay? This thing is, I don't even want to touch it. This thing is 5 calories, I'm sure. And this shit bang. I mean, it's just easy.
I had one, and that was fire.
The nice thing about these as well is so mine, Aiden mic is 2. Their mic is 3.
Yeah. There we go.
We back?
Yeah.
Let's test them real quick before we continue. Tap on yours. Make sure it peaks.
I was about to say something.
Okay, and then it didn't peak mine.
It's going on yours.
Does it do both? Here, hold on. 1 second.
Okay.
No, his is staying down.
Oh, his is saying now.
You tap yours, yeah.
Alright, we're good. Fuck it.
Okay.
Technical
Trying to see
difficulty.
what other
Jesus
cookies.
Christ. Why does this happen? I'm very
Who
confused.
knows?
I think
Anyway.
because
What type of cookies?
Maybe. We have a lot of wires. Anyways.
True.
Alright, next topic. Thank God that happened like between topics though.
Yeah.
That was a plus.
I'm trying to eat more cookies, but my sweet tooth is going. I'm just like,
All right, so I want to know something.
okay.
Why is it that the government has CIA files on hypnosis?
Mhm.
This really interested me. And I have the files right here. And then, what's it called? For the viewer watching at home, we'll post it after the show. Aiden, if you'll do the honors.
Yeah. It'll be in the
So-
description.
Basically, I'll just read you guys the titles for all basically all the CIA files, the head titles. All right, so let me start off with. We have hypnosis. Because remember on the last episode when we were talking about the MK Ultra and
the
how
mind
they
control.
basically did mind control on people. So tell me why I stumbled upon the CIA files about hypnosis. So not only that, but we have hypnosis, transcendental meditation, biofeedback, the gateway, and the hemisync. So basically, you know how our brain has the left side and the right side. The left side is the logical side, and the right side is the intuitive side. So basically, our subconscious mind, whatever we want to manifest, is on the right side. But the thing is, the left side of the brain actually keeps guard of everything that goes on. What we see, the five senses, touch, taste, seeing, hearing, tasting, it guards all of that information from the left side into the right side, making it the reasoning, the left side is the reasoning side. But you ever get those feelings when, you just feel your gut instinct or, you have an intuition or a vision comes by your mind?
Yeah.
Basically, that's your right side giving you, a sense. And if you trust it, good things can happen because every person on this planet has a brain. And what I was researching...
Arguable. Continue.
True. All right, but the thing is, everybody is capable of much greater things. This is my word. That everybody can be greater than what they actually think. Because I say this in a sense, I feel like this physical reality is an illusion. We're actually spiritual beings. How it's always been. Because let me give you a good saying. You guys know Nikola Tesla? He said when you want to speak in terms of the universe, speak in vibrations, energies. Shit, I forgot the last one. Vibrations, energies, and frequencies.
There you go.
That's what it was. Because here's the thing. Everything that you hear, your brain is perceiving it. Everything. From the music to what we say, our words. What I was researching on here, what I was reading, is that whatever we speak, we manifest. So if you say, I hate myself, stupid idiot, you're speaking that to yourself, and your subconscious mind, your right side of the brain hears everything you say. Everything you say.
Yep.
And what's it called? So if you call yourself like a stupid idiot, you talk bad about yourself, you do all these things, well, your subconscious mind, the way I see it, it kind of has its own mind. And so it's like, oh, you want to say that about me? Oh, okay. Don't worry. I won't say anything more. So it shuts off. And that's why people will feel kind of more lost in a sense. So let me go on with the titles. So you have another title, Lamp versus Laser. This one's an interesting one because it talks about how we're all beings of energy. We produce light. This light can be either a lamp light, a dim lamp light, where it just, if you were in outer space, the way I would say it, it's a dim light. Or what it talks about here, that it could be like a laser. And this laser, let me show you a little more. So let me read. So it talks about the gateway assumes that once the frequency and amplitude of the human brain are rendered coherent, it is possible to begin accelerating both so that the human mind is soon resonating at even higher vibrational levels. The mind can bring itself into synchronization with more sophisticated and rarefied energy levels in the universe. The mind, when operating at this increasingly rarefied levels, is assumed to be capable of processing the information thus received through the same fundamental matrix by which it makes sense of ordinary physical sensory input to achieve meaning in a cognitive context. Such meaning is usually perceived visually in the form of symbols, but may also be perceived as astonishing flashes of holistic intuition, or even in the form of scenarios involving both visual and aural perception. The mechanics by which the mind exercises the consciousness function will be addressed in more detail later in this paper. CIA files.
Talking about hunches, talking about gut feelings.
Intuition.
Yeah.
You get me? The government even acknowledges this. So if somebody says, "Oh, that's not true," well, tell me why the government, has done their research. This even goes back to World War II, when Japan and Germany had concentration camps and they were experimenting with, the MK Ultra, but it wasn't called that. They were just experimenting on people with, trying to mind control, use psychedelics and all that kind of stuff.
Cognitive ability, basically. Seeing what the brain is actually capable of.
So if it talks about that we're beings of energy, that we can either be a lamp or we can be a laser. And this is why whenever you get in the zone, getting in the zone, that's another sense of being a laser. You know what I mean? So that's one of them. That's what really made me interested in reading more of this. Brain stimulation, energy entrainment, holograms, talks about the conscious matrix. It's really crazy. Really crazy, guys. This is why I've been doing a lot of research on this, and how can I say it? Even in our book, the Prosperity Bible, that's a good book to read because it talks about the brain and how the brain, people underestimate our consciousness, and so it's like I can't describe it in words how just big this goes. How the government is actually trying to dumb you down and keep you in the same place so then they can make you a good slave and keep you in the same race in the cycle to make you a good worker, a good slave worker.
Yeah.
Because literally, Andrew Tate talks about how we're literally just slave workers. You get me? And it makes sense. And it makes sense. From the educational system to when we grow up to have a 9-to-5 job. And we were talking earlier about how people usually stick to one type of career, one source of income. But guess what? At the end of it, you still have mortgage to pay, you still have a car. So it cuts it basically in half, leaving you with what? No money.
Yeah.
And so it's just that. This is really interesting to me that even the government would acknowledge that we're energies and that this is what I kind of was thinking, that we not only are of this physical realm, but we are also, spiritual. We also have the conscious mind, and that, shoot, I lost my train of thought.
I mean, while you're thinking, so you hear saying all the time, your mind is mind is a powerful place, right? It is your strongest tool, but it is also your biggest limiter because it limits itself. And if you're not aware of that, and you don't even know how to start taking off those limits or breaking those limits, you're just gonna stay in this whole little mind zone boggle, whatever. One thing that I seen earlier about Tate, of all things, actually talking about it earlier about how you can control your mind and you can become more conscious of everything your mind remembers because it keeps documents. Your mind keeps record of everything that happens, everything it thinks and does. You can become more conscious of even your unconscious movements and thoughts by simply starting off of when you wake up in the morning. Remember what was the last thought that went through your head before you fell asleep. simple things like that
Right.
will start making you more conscious and more aware of things that memories will start unlocking, things like that. Right.
And I'm basically talking about this because, you know, as a person, I don't want to be stuck in just one place.
Yeah.
I want to grow as a person, you know? And so I feel like they hide a lot of things from us. And there's a lot of questions that I have. You get me? And so when I found these files, it really brought up more questions to why, you know, good example was the Watergate scandal. In the 1970s, the building had burned down containing thousands of files on hypnosis. But the thing is that they didn't secure 20,000 of those files in the right place, so they were leaked out. And now guess what we have? And some of it is hypnosis and transcendental meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And so it talks about how we can become a better being at a higher conscious level. And basically, I'm saying this because, I want to be better as a person. I want to elevate. You know, I don't want to stay in the same place. So that being said, if I can do a lot of research on the mind, because the mind is the most powerful substance in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Because all it is it's electric, just like the heart. It's electric, just vibrating. So this is why I say, even the music that we listen to, I was talking to Anthony, he's a good friend, basically, that even in the music, they have distorted the frequency to where how you're listening to it makes you more stressed and more anxious. Isn't that funny? Especially in the rap and hip hop community.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes to show you, even at the top, why they don't even let their kids listen to that kind of music.
Yep.
You get me?
Absolutely. I think it's important to realize as well, we know nothing, right? Not just us three, but nobody knows anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even the reason there's even research like this being done is because we know nothing. So what you have to do is just take what you have given. We still know nothing, right? Even with these files, all that stuff. We know nothing.
Exactly.
But the purpose is to research this stuff so at least you can maximize the knowledge you can have, right? It's like, why would you, we don't know anything, so why would I research this stuff? Like, we still don't know anything. It's important to at least, even if this is 1/1,000,000% of what the brain has capable, at least now you are aware of the knowledge we do have as humans, so you can maximize that use. We have no idea how the subconscious mind works. We have no idea about anything. But at least having the knowledge that you can grab from a bunch of different sources and your experience, at least you can maximize your life in that way.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a little bit and we know nothing still,
Yep.
you can at least maximize what you're doing. And I think it does have something to say. If the government is pouring millions of dollars into this research, you can do all the research you want. It won't even tap the budget the government has for this type of stuff.
Right.
So if they're doing this, there's got to be a reason that they're doing it. It's because they have the same questions we do. They just have the resources to get it done.
Yeah.
Right?
They want to keep you in chains.
Yeah.
Which is
So
gonna lead to more questions.
they just have the resources to get what they need to have done.
Yeah. Me personally, I just want to investigate in this so then I can become a better person. You know, and it talks about, you know, becoming a better person as just an energy being.
Yeah.
Because that's literally all we are.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, right, it's very hard to change the world. It's very hard to do anything like of grand scale. So you might as well just do your own research so that you can impact yourself and your life, make sure you're living the best life possible, but also just those directly close to you, inform them or have the biggest impact on them.
Yeah.
Because hardly anyone impacts the world in a complete sense, right? So you might as well, rather than overwhelming yourself with all of this, oh my God, I have to impact so many people. Oh, if I'm not impacting the world, I'm useless.
Yeah.
No, you just impact the people
That's not
around
it.
you. You make sure you can use your life to the best so that at least you can live happily, even if it's not in some grand like scale. You're still you're on your deathbed and you're like, I lived my life to my fullest because at least I knew the most I can. At least I knew, right? So, I don't know. I think people just stress themselves with like grand scale stuff. It's like, you just worry about yourself. Like, you don't have to be...
You don't have to influence people. You don't have to convince people of the same ideologies that, a person would have. Me personally, I would just inform you guys, and to the person that feels stuck, just if they want to research, it'll be there at the link in the bio down below. But other than that, that's basically, it comes from, the bottom of my heart, just deeply wanted to help.
Exactly.
You
can think about this and the conspiracy theories and stuff. Oh my God, the government hates me, that sort of thing. Maybe they do, right? But at the end of the day, if you don't want to overwhelm yourself with all these conspiracy theories, you don't have to, right? You can just have a knowledge of what you want to know and live your life the way you want to. If you find this stuff overwhelming, then I would say maybe look into it a little bit because I don't think it's that overwhelming.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, even if this stuff is for a bigger reason, the government's trying to control you, that sort of thing, at least you can live your life to your fullest and say, even if they did control me, whatever, at least I lived the way I wanted to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. And honestly, I just think regardless, I just think it's good to ask questions, right? Don't just live your life like you want to, but don't live like a mindless whatever, drone, whatever. Because if nobody ever asked questions, we wouldn't be here.
The problem with this route, right, talking conspiracy theories, and we don't, us three at least, right? Some people on Reddit I think are different. I don't keep a stack, but they
They're a different beast.
Reddit is a different beast. They they overwhelm themselves with the conspiracy theories and that life sucks and stuff to the point where down this path of questions is nihilism. Nothing matters. God isn't real. That's what nihilism is, right? It's like negativity. Nothing matters. God isn't real. Like that sort of thing. That's nihilism.
So influenced in the United States.
Yeah.
You get me? And for the longest, I felt confused and lost where, how, why, this and that, But as I started learning more about the mind, I was able to control how I felt. Not only that, but I was able to gain more knowledge on, just myself and, how we're energies and beings of energy. You get me?
And see, the thing is, questions lead to more questions. Very few questions are answered. But then you also hear the saying, be careful what you, wish for. Be careful what you go looking for. Because those answers may not be what you like. It's not going to be what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And that's probably where you face nihilism.
Exactly.
And you got to be really careful not to go down that route. Because, ask questions, keep looking, because they're going to lead to more questions. But don't let it make you avoid.
That's the exact point I'm trying to make. It's like you don't want to ruin your own life because you keep asking questions. Questions are very good. That's how you elevate intelligence, that sort of thing. You want questions, but as soon as you get to the point where you start thinking that life doesn't matter, that it's not worth it, you need to stop asking questions because you're overwhelming yourself, and it's really not that deep.
Yeah.
As sad as it is, right? We live on this planet. Our generation might live to 110 on average. You know what I mean? Because the way medical's going, that sort of stuff. Yeah. We might live very long. Even if we live long, 110 years, let's say, even though I think that is a overestimate, right? Let's say on average we live 100. Yeah. That is nothing, right? And you can think about that in a bad way or a good way. At the end of the day, your lifespan doesn't mean that much in the grand scheme of everything, so you might as well just enjoy your life the way you want to, impact the people around you, and not dive so far deep where the last 60 years of your life, you absolutely hate it. Yeah. Or, even worse, you end up ending it early.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's, you know what I mean? There's no, I don't know. It's just like some conspiracy theory routes, they go too deep.
Yeah.
And then, well, now you're really screwed because...
Yeah, no, what I'm trying to get at is that basically, just like words are manifestation.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What you say comes into existence, and not only that, but what you tell yourself, your subconscious mind is listening.
Yeah.
So, if you're feeling depressed, anxiety, all these things, you could say, I'm strong. I feel good, you know, and you can basically trick your subconscious mind. That's what basically hypnosis is that, you know, if you basically, you listen to yourself long enough, or you have a hypnotist, you know, try to hypnotize you or anything like that, you can change the way you are. You know, you're not stuck. You're not stuck with these people telling you, take these antidepressants.
Yeah.
You know, you're not stuck having to do that. You can change the way you are with the power of the word. You get me?
Yeah. I think the subconscious is the next step. Actually, see, this kind of goes back to the point we made about black holes.
Okay.
We discovered it too early. I think we are so far away from understanding the brain, if we ever do understand it. I don't know. I don't think we ever will. I think humans will die off before, but...
What really interests me is how Egyptians knew about the pineal gland, the third eye opening. That is like...
Well, because they had the aliens to help them with the pyramids.
Yep.
So they talked to them.
You know,
Aliens
but,
exist. I refuse to believe otherwise.
even
Oh no, I said it like that. I'm sorry. If you see me riding in the forest with a grizzly bear, help the bear.
Alright, continue, sorry.
Sorry, bro.
Actually such a tangent. Oh well.
but it basically the pineal gland, I
I'm
guess.
dying. Sorry. Go ahead. Something got caught in my throat for a second, bro. There was a piece of spit or something. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh.
Don't look at me like that. Look away.
Alright. Pineal gland.
Oh, yeah. The pineal gland, I guess, is in
That's
the
a funny
mid
name.
part of the brain around here.
Okay.
And so it's like a peanut-sized shape. And basically, that helps with, like, your intuitive side. You know, it helps with understanding more, with more knowledge. So, that, to me, I just feel like the brain is really interesting. You know, we don't know too much about the brain or anything about that. But I feel like as, you know, as a society, as we start learning more knowledge and everything, I feel like it's important that we understand our own physiology.
Yeah.
You get me? So that's just where I'm trying to get at, you know.
Oh. I wasn't trying to undermine you by saying like we know nothing or whatever or like
yeah.
anything like that. It just goes more. It's just the point that we have files on it. The government needs to know for a reason, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a reason they're doing this. It's because it's powerful.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to ask these questions because we will get them answered eventually. They'll have more questions, but the government is trying to get the answers for a reason.
Yeah.
So you have to be aware of that, right?
And if I could just spread some light, some word to the people viewing at home, because I know there's not many influencers, not many people that will talk about this, you know, because it's like, even rappers, they talk about manifestation of their words, you know, so why can't we?
You know.
You get me? Drake is a good one. Talks about how, you know, just listen to the lyrics. Just listen. I tell you right now, just listen to the lyrics. Lemon Pepper Freestyle. I do listen to him. Because he speaks some real shit.
Oh, he does speak some real shit. Girl, you a lesbian, me too. He does speak some real shit.
I'm not gonna lie, for a second I thought about Kanye.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You know, he does speak, but hey, what he said, he meant. You feel me?
Yeah.
He means what he say. He's
Yeah.
speaking to existence about, you know, the whole Nazi situation.
Hey, yo.
We don't condone his actions, we don't. But, no, like, honestly, so going back to the whole mind thing, well, go ahead.
But a part of that, you just gotta research who are at the top of these label industries. Just research it. You get me? Because those top people don't allow their children to listen to that type of music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's some truth to what he's speaking, but they're not listening to what he's saying because he's speaking truth. They're calling him a crazy man, you know. But some of the stuff he does say is outlandish as hell.
Yeah.
All right, but the thing is, we gotta do our own research. You know, what is he, a billionaire? If he's trying to speak some truth, you know.
I don't think anymore, but whatever. He was.
Yeah,
Whatever.
he was,
Sorry,
sure.
Who gives a shit?
But still, billionaires know inside knowledge, more knowledge than the regular average Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get me? So I'm just saying, look for yourself. They don't allow their children to listen to that type of music. There's a frequency associated with stress and anxiety that is damaging our youth, basically. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah, I mean, the music industry being extremely corrupt is nothing new, though.
Yeah.
People have been saying that since they probably got created. I've been seeing, there's rappers in the '80s, literally rapping in the '80s, like NWA, talking about how messed up the music industry is.
Yeah.
So it's like, music industry, any big industry like that, the sad part is it's any industry where the output is creative.
But the thing is, we have a full culture supporting serial killers.
Yeah.
Let's put it in those terms.
To an extent, yeah.
To an extent, because why? Serial killers. It's not like your freaking Manson. Your what is it, Manson? It's not those type of crazy people. It's people who are heartless enough to kill another person, and multiple. That's what serial means. Multiple killers. You get me? We have a whole entire culture supporting that.
My argument against that, though, is it their fault?
No.
Because
Wait.
like they are thrown into these gangs. Like that's what the new song talking about is the it's the culture, right? But that goes back to the whole argument. How do you change culture? I don't know. But that goes back to the whole thing in the new song. And a new song example is "Walk 'Em Down" by Metro Boomin, right? Mm-hmm. The first half is 21, pussy, like going off, right? Talking about killing people.
Right.
Back half is Mustafa, I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. Mustafa, whatever.
Mustafa,
Goat. Anyways, fantastic singer. He's talking about the other side of it. 21's talking about killing everybody. Other side is don't kill civilians. He's talking about his friend killed someone, and now someone's coming after his friend. His friend gets killed. Now he's after the guy that killed his friend. It's a constant loop.
Yeah,
because it's the culture. But is the culture? That's the chicken before the egg argument that rap has. Was rap or hip hop, I guess, created because the culture was already there, and the hip hop was an outlet to rapping about it, or was rap created first and then the culture changed? I think it's both. I think the culture existed, and then rap was created, and now rap actually. Keep in mind, I listen to rap, so this is not me on my fucking racial soapbox. I don't know.
Oh no!
I listen to rap literally 24/7, literally 24/7, or like some fucking suburban white boy type shit. No, I listen to rap all the time, but it's just like now rap causes more violence, but it goes back to the whole issue where it's like it's systematic.
I feel like it's because we have been misinformed.
Yeah,
that's simple. If the public were to know more about themselves, more about how we're energies and everything, I feel like the rap industry would collapse. But you gotta remember, there's billions of dollars being pumped into this.
Yeah.
And the more you talk about that kind of stuff, shaking ass, that kind of stuff, it's more okay. It's more okay. And that's where I feel like the misinformation is heading. You get me? Because it's like, well, if I was, if I'm a young guy, I'm a young kid, and I don't have no type of influence, where else am I going to get my information? What I listen to every day. What makes it cooler? What makes it cool?
And see, in a sense, with the whole culture thing, I feel like this is where the system fails, honestly, a lot. The idea of it is, let's say you kill somebody from my family, right? Somebody in my family's like, let's say you kill my cousin. My other cousin's like, okay, no, we can't let that slide. Gotta get back. You kill one, mama kill two of yours. One of your family members turns around and says, okay, you kill two, I'm gonna kill four. And it's a constant cycle of that.
Yeah.
So to prevent that, the idea is take that person, put them in jail, so there is no get back. But at the same time, it doesn't work. And then, even let's say even for a moment, it works, right? They can't come back and kill you now, whatever. When you go back out, you're going back into the exact same environment you were taken out of to prevent an issue. People don't forget at all.
No.
And so they're either going to spin back, or even if they don't spin back, the issue now is, okay, you've been in prison. it's not set up to help you when you come out or help you figure out what to do at all. So you end up getting right back into the same life you just left or came out of with that sent you back in there, and it's just gonna be a constant cycle of that.
Yeah, and since when is that type of pain all right? Since when has it been okay?
It's never been okay, but sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I keep talking.
Oh, no, you're good. I was just going to say this, right? We talked about it earlier. Trace the money. Where does the money go?
Yeah.
The reason that rap exists, the reason that the culture cannot change is because poverty. It's poverty stricken, right? What do they kill for? What do gang members kill for? What do people in poverty kill for? It's because their actual survival needs. Look in the wild. The reason animals kill each other is because they need to survive. Mm-hmm. It just so happens that we live in a civilization with houses, right? And food and grocery stores. But it takes money to buy those things. So what do these gangs rely on? Robbing, which then causes violence. Money and violence go together. The reason violence even exists is because there is no money. So they resort to the animalistic thing, which is violence. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, we're all animals. Doesn't matter your race, doesn't matter your gender. We're all animals. So you have to look back on that. The reason the violence even exists is because the system, like he said, forces you into poverty essentially. Oh, you've been in jail for 20 years? Well, guess what? Now your family's maybe moved across the country, don't care about you anymore. And then, wow, you're homeless. What do you have to do? Kill the other homeless dude. Okay, now that homeless dude just so happened to be with the gang. Okay, now you're dead. You know what I mean? It's like it's a constant cycle because it relies on survival. It's literal survival. We just so happen to be in more of a civilized society where we have money and shelter and stuff.
Yeah.
We don't have...
But... You know what? I would disagree with that. I agree with you on all of that, but on the animal sense, we're smarter than animals.
Are we?
No. I'm gonna have to argue with that. No, because our basic needs still are animalistic, and our basic instincts are still animalistic.
What is intelligence?
We're more intelligent. Well, not really more.
Are we intelligent, or have we just built the world around us to show our intelligence?
I think it's most because we're not. It's easy to understand we're not the only intelligent people. Crows are extremely intelligent.
Right.
They know how to use our own inventions to help them in their better life. Right. Crows probably taught dogs how to play fetch because newsflash, we ain't teach them. It was already programmed within them. They already knew. Crows probably taught them. Who knows? Crows are freaking intelligent. There's plenty of intelligent animals and creatures. They show us all the time.
Well,
Ants.
That's because of pattern. Because we're habitual creatures. Our brain. It does whatever we do on an everyday basis, our brain picks up. So I see like a spiral. Like we can either be going in an upward spiral. We do good habits. We become better. We become more successful. If you do bad habits, you go on a downward spiral and end up killing each other.
Yeah.
You get me? So why would we associate ourselves with animals if we are intellectual beings? All of us.
See, that's the thing, though. The reason that the definition that we are human, what makes us human, is we have existentialism.
Emotions.
That is the definition of why we are human, is because we have existentialism.
Yeah.
So there's this video that went viral on TikTok, this dog bunny, okay? I don't know if you've seen these dogs. People are teaching dogs how to talk, basically. They have tons of buttons on the floor, and they press buttons to say certain things, right? This dog bunny is like a fucking prodigy.
Yeah.
This thing talks about cat wants to play with human. Like, actually, like, full-on sentences. There's a new video that came out that is absolutely terrifying. The owner put a Y button for the dog. The dog starts asking, why is Bunny? Another button, when? When is Bunny done?
So that goes back
It's literally talking about life and death. This dog that we are smarter than, even though that could be understandable, the argument against that is, oh, the owner set this up. Like, it's...
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I'm going to say we just can't communicate with dogs or other animals. I feel like there is a sense of life and death with these animals, which in turn puts them on this equal plane as us, because the only reason we're different is because we have a sense of life and death.
Yeah.
What about this elephant?
They can
These
feel it.
elephants
They can
that
feel it too.
literally travel hundreds of miles to go to a dead one, or stomp out a dead woman's grave because he knows she's in there type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, if we're different because we have existentialism and we know when life and death is happening, and these animals, some of these animals know what makes us so different, really. Just the fact that we built the world around us, I don't know.
Okay, here's the thing though. If animals are progressing with their mind, wouldn't we be able to do the same thing? And if so, why is it so popular in our rap industry to kill and do all these things? My boyfriend's a killer. He kill people for real. That's a quote I've heard.
It's because violence is
It's cool.
way down on the pyramid. Like on the pyramid of needs. Shelter, food, water, love, that sort of thing. On the human pyramid of needs. Violence circles all of it. Because without any of it, violence is the last resort. Right? Violence is what you resort to. And I don't think there's any fighting that. That is being an animal. If we don't have violence anymore, we are no longer animals. And then that's a whole nother argument, is that we are no longer animals. But I personally think that's a stupid argument to even think of. Because how are we not animals when we share literally everything with animals? You know what I mean? Like, we quite literally everything. Body parts, like, how could you not say we're animals? So that argument is a completely different thing. But without violence, we're no longer animals.
But I feel like we're capable of so much more, because our brain can literally hold trillions worth of data, way more than a computer can.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing that I actually learned. That was the first thing that I actually learned. So that begged to ask, if we're capable of that kind of information, of remembering sequences of numbers, remembering all these types of numbers, we're capable of much more. But I'm telling you, it's because we're misinformed. A culture that is misinformed. The youth, growing up, they're not going to know any better. All they know is violence. You know, so.
Oh, I'm not saying we can't grow out of that. I'm just saying.
That's where
I'm just saying, if there's people that are rich,
yeah,
there's that rich people, they don't have any problems. I get violence-wise, you know, they're never worried or anything like that, right?
but they've
In
already
that
made
sense,
it
in that
out.
sense.
I'm talking about for the person who hasn't made it out.
Oh, that's what
that
I'm
can
saying.
like develop their brain and get out of any situation that they get their family themselves out of a situation that they shouldn't be in. You get me?
I agree,
That's just the
but
hard
that
thing.
goes back down
You get me?
to, if there's the rich, there
Yeah.
must be the poor.
Yeah.
And what's happening down here, right? Think about the reason that us three here are able to think higher, think of this stuff. It's because we aren't worried about, oh, there's a kid getting shot in the street, literally outside my house. Because the only way to open your brain to the higher level thinking and understanding is if you don't have that much stress. You know what I mean? The stress clogs your brain.
Yeah.
So, and I completely understand it, right? If there's literally gunshots outside your window, the last thing I'm worried about is, oh, the government's using hypnosis on us. I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to make sure my kid doesn't get shot on his walk to school. You know what I mean?
I see. Yeah,
Like
that
I don't think you can't blame those people for for people in poverty. You can't blame people in poverty for not trying to get out. I think they are. They just you can't. It's the culture, it's the system. It's made
exactly
to exist. It is made to exist.
So if you don't even know that the system exists, how can you get out of there?
Yeah, I mean that's the benefit of rap music though. There's one
That's-
benefit that is the way.
Yeah.
They rap music can teach someone that's down. Music is the greatest teacher. Music can teach things that no one else can. You can relate to music. So someone in poverty hears Nas or Jay-Z talking about believe in yourself. Like Nas is personally the GOAT, the number one rapper of all time, he talks a lot in his new one, his King's Disease, talking about getting out of poverty. Count your first milli like a habit. You know what I mean? Like teaching you ways to get out of poverty.
To me, that's cool.
Yeah.
To me, that's cool.
But at the same time, right? If there's an opposite, there must be an opposite, or whatever the fuck. Wow, I butchered that one. But what I'm saying is, if there's Nas over here talking about the ways you got to get out, there's him over here talking about shaking ass, because it's the opposite.
Yeah.
You have to have both to exist. You can't have one.
It's all Newton's law.
Yeah.
But
there's always an opposite equal.
I'm just talking about for like people that don't know and are misinformed. You get me? Because what if they stumble across this video and they
see? That's the whole thing, right? Is that we want to educate people, but that goes down to the whole argument. They don't want education. That's all these government like spending bills and stuff. Oh, get these kids good educations in schools and stuff. It's useless because they aren't worried about the education. They don't care what 2 to the power of 10 is. They don't care.
No.
They're worried about getting home with their shoes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you have to educate people in a different way when they're in poverty, because their brain is working differently. You know what I mean? That's where all these government spending bills don't make sense to me. Oh, we need to get these kids educated. But you aren't educating them on what they actually need.
But in school, they're teaching about race theory.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they don't care about that. And to be fair, no one should. But I'm just saying, you can't expect people to improve if you're teaching them the wrong things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that goes back to the system. That goes back to the system. It is made to screw you over.
Yeah. So the question to me isn't no longer how do you change culture, it's how do you change the system to fix what's going on. But like you said, you can't. This video I seen that it actually speaks deeply. Like it says something, right? In my opinion, is when it comes to like the gang violence and everything like that, right? Let's say you driving and there's like this border you pass, like or the street, when you know you're in that other person's hood now, right?
Yeah.
And you're looking, you're gonna pass the dude in the suit walking down the street. You're gonna pass the kid. You're gonna pass all the elder person, or whatever.
I saw that video.
And then you're gonna see somebody who's got that walk and who's dressed that certain way. You're looking for yourself on the other side of the street. That's all it is. You're looking for someone who looks, acts, dressed just like you. You're looking for yourself. And then you're like, there you go. You're gonna gun him down. You're gonna kill him. That to me, that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but it's true. It's genuinely. It's hard for me to see it as anything else but a culture issue, because I can't just see it as a race issue now. Like it might have started off like that, right? Like the whole thing started, in my opinion, when slavery, for example, right? Afterwards, they turned them on each other, had them fight each other. Like they found ways to make them fight each other, so they're not worried about them now.
Yeah.
There's, to me, from then, or even way before then, actually, it's happening.
In human history, that's what happens.
Yeah, it happens constantly.
Here's the thing. Back when there was monarchies, kings, queens, and higher people like knights, they were all able to read and write, but the peasants didn't know. They didn't know how to read or write. They didn't know what books were.
Yeah.
But the higher ups, they did. How do you keep people doing the same thing while you live a lavish life? You keep them in a system, in the same cycle. You don't allow them to gain information, because if they gain information, now they're like one of us.
Knowledge is power.
You get
It
it?
is, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing,
it's
right?
just you alter the system. You make some modifications to the system. You still have modern day slavery.
Yeah.
It's still the same shit.
It's just you're not working in fields, not being paid.
Yeah, you're getting money.
You're slaved mentally.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's the thing, right? You don't see it. That's the whole thing. Is people naturally don't believe things they don't see. So, how is it slavery? Mentally, they're not.
Yeah.
whipping me. It's like, no, they are. You just can't see it.
Yeah.
So people don't believe it, don't care.
Like
Look
out of sight,
over
out
it.
of mind.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Out of sight, out of mind. More,
wall.
more like
can't
you
see
literally
it.
can't even see it, so you don't even know.
So you can never escape.
Yeah.
You get me?
So that's why
the
to
sad
me,
part.
hip hop is the outlet. You know what I mean? That's the window. Like you're like, okay, there is a life outside of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's
I
just
don't think
crazy.
you can blame hip hop for it. It's just you blame the system.
Yeah.
Hip hop only exists. See, that's the thing though. It's not hip hop. There's always been outlets for people that are being pushed down.
Well,
Hip hop didn't exist during slavery. So what did they do? They wrote poems.
It's just the
exactly.
most.
It's just another form of modern day poems,
Yeah.
poetry.
Yeah.
You get me? But the thing is, exactly, bro.
It's just there needs to be an outlet for people. That's what
Yeah.
people always need is an outlet. So I don't know how you can blame someone's outlet. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how you could do that because that's what they need. That's what people in poverty need is an outlet because all they else have to deal with is a bunch of stress and stuff. So I don't know.
See,
Yeah, it's just a really crazy topic, honestly.
for me, in my thinking about it, it's hard, even when that is their outlet, right? It's still hard to ever try to get out of the lifestyle, even if you make it out the hood.
Oh, 100%,
because
yeah.
you only know it. People love things you can relate to, and if this is the only thing you know about, it's something you're gonna keep talking about and stuff. Versus nobody's if you've been talking about game banging, that's what people relate to. Nobody's gonna come to you when you drop a heartbreak album. You think, oh yeah, no, I'm coming to you for heartbreak music. Nobody's gonna come to you when you come for motivational music or whatever. You people want what you can relate to, and because this is what's been working for you, you're gonna keep doing it. Unfortunately, that's gonna catch up to you. Look at it all the time. It happens all the time. King Von, it happened. Of all people, freaking Nipsey. It happened with Nipsey,
That's
even
what I'm
though
saying.
he wasn't even in that lifestyle anymore.
If you escape it, you don't
It's-
actually escape. You don't.
Yeah, there's no real escape from it.
The only
It's
escape
just-
is if you disappear. That's the only way. Is if you actually disappear and then make your. But no one wants to do that.
yeah.
What kind of life is that? You made it out and now you're gone.
But see, that's the thing. It's not necessarily disappearing. Cause like we talked about like before how like I want to do what I want to do, get everything done, and then peace out. I'm going. But then it's not about disappearing. It's about being on the grid as much as possible, right?
Yeah.
One person I realized who does that the most, right? Made it out that lifestyle, is on the grid as much as possible. Does random side missions now, and is probably the most untouchable person now. Like it's like an understood thing. Like don't mess with him. That's Uncle, aka Snoop. That's Uncle Snoop.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like he to me is like the best example, but at the same time, it's hard to get to where that is because he started when this whole like the music industry was getting real big when that was becoming an outlet.
Yeah.
So
That's the thing, right? It's like, even if you. What I'm saying about disappearing is like a rapper comes out. He's still in that gang.
yeah,
You have to disappear because no one can even know what your kids look like.
yeah,
Because the only way you can you get out of that gang is if your kid has no idea you were even in it. And they don't even know what your kid looks like because now your family's out.
yeah,
But you have to disappear because they will find you if you're in a gang and you know if you're and then you cut communication where they will find you, right? So it's like you actually have to disappear for your kid's sake, basically,
Yeah.
and now your family's good. But it's like, what kind of life is that?
Exactly. What kind of life is that when you enter your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, you're laying on your deathbed, still in the system?
Yeah. But there's no escape. That's the problem. Is
Yeah.
how are you supposed to
But
escape?
there is. But there is. It's all in the mind. It's just literally as we said.
But then
Well,
that goes
no,
back
but
to
you
the
might
issue.
escape. You might escape mentally.
yeah.
That person with that gun that's walking in your door has not.
No.
So have you really escaped? No. It's like you might have escaped, but they didn't.
But at least I can enjoy. If I die, at least I know that.
I'm saying it's bigger than that. because it's
Yeah.
like you have a girl now, you got a kid. You want someone walking in your house when your kid's upstairs and they come to kill you? It's like
No.
It's like you don't want that.
Right.
But you can't get out of that because you were born into that, because maybe your dad was in that gang, so you were born into it, and he didn't escape, so you are now there.
Yeah.
And now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that's what I'm saying. There's a constant system. Is there a fix? The only fix is that somehow it stops existing, and then another one pops up. There won't ever be. Oh, there's no violence. There's no criminal underground. That won't ever exist, ever, because it will exist in some form. It might just not be in the form that we know it in this generation, which is, spinning blocks and
All I know
rapping and
is
stuff like that.
if there's a system, me personally, I would try the best way to get out of it.
Yeah,
Just personally.
yeah. See, that's the thing, though. It's like, but that's from your mindset where
Yeah.
Sure.
you're
It goes
free.
back to
It does
You-
go back
you-
to-
last
you
thing
work-
you're
you work a
worried
job,
about
yeah.
is
Free thinking.
that
trying
goes,
to
that
free
goes
your
back
mind
to it,
up.
where you
Yeah.
don't have that much stress. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right. True.
It's a very hard discussion.
But I feel like even if you're not in the hood, you're still dealing with a system. You know?
Oh, 100%.
You're
Yeah, it's
still
just
dealing
different.
with
It's just
barriers,
different.
you
Yeah.
know? So,
No, I mean the
would
whole
say-
thing is a system. It's just different. It's just not the system that like the middle class is in. Just doesn't deal with violence. It deals with other things.
Yeah.
Even though I would argue violence is the worst thing. So, you can't be in the middle class and say, "Oh, I have it worse." It's like, no, relax, bro.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because actually killing and stuff is the worst. Like violence itself is the worst aspect of humans, animals, whatever. That's the worst aspect. So when violence exists, that's the worst aspect. You can't get worse than that without any doubt.
Yeah. And see, think about it like what you said earlier, right? About so the question would be like, okay, if you're no longer violent, then will you no longer have the title of an animal? Well, but then also what I just thought about, right? The reason I bring that back up is because you're talking about it probably like a couple months ago, whatever, about how what was it? About there's basically somebody who was talking about a theory, right? About how once mankind kind of starts fighting itself and gets rid of that violent nature, it's then gonna start. It will learn more, but in a sense, it will kind of fight God.
We are
Like-
man versus man right now.
Yeah.
When society gets to that point, the scientist that wrote this theory said he believes we will never get past this point. Man will always fight man until man no longer exists. But in the event that we do stop fighting man, we will now try to play God. We will now start genetically modifying, trying to become immortal. That's the next step. Personally, I think we're all dead before we start trying to play God because we'll kill ourselves first.
But see, there's a
Neuralink, see.
yeah, but there's a something I
That's
found,
not even
right?
playing God, though. He was talking more play God, like you start creating humans, you start creating immortal humans that don't die, like ever, don't feel pain.
So sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
There was something that I had seen a little while back, right? About a while back, I mean like last week or something. Basically what it is this dude was he made a concept and released it, and it made it look real, but I think it was like a part of a movie or something. But in it was like a lab where there was babies growing and stuff inside of these little container things, and you can monitor it from your phone, genetically modify it and stuff to different things like that. The scary thing about it is he said research has been done to where it's hypothetically possible.
Yeah.
There's laws and rules against it, which recently got removed about growing like babies or whatever in a lab or something like that, which is crazy. But it's interesting because you see in human history, like we're at a low of wars when it comes to wars and stuff, right? So war is decreasing, which is what brought about the whole question about violence and the disappearance and stuff like that. But something else is interesting is that we're uncovering more viruses and stuff, and they're like scientists are reviving more viruses and things like that for some ungodly reason. Stop messing with stuff. But the issue and the thing is, they're uncovering it and reviving it because it's happening naturally because of climate change and everything like that. Icebergs and stuff like defrosting, releasing more things.
Didn't they find a zombie virus or something like that?
Yeah, that was a little while ago.
That was a part of the Ice Age.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened after that. I haven't looked back on that yet.
Obviously, nothing came out of it because no one's been turned into a zombie yet. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're probably good there. Yeah.
the only argument for like the reason why they're doing it is because if this stuff is naturally defrosting and coming out, then they need to revive it so they can find a way to fight against it. But one thing that's crazy, and I'm glad that you brought up the whole like longer living and immortal type thing. Some years ago, a scientist found a virus, tested it on animals, and what he found was instead of killing them, it made them better. Like it boosted their like lifespan and different things inside of it. So it basically, in other words, it acted the opposite of what viruses usually do. And so he had the great idea to implant himself with the virus. And they checked up on him, and apparently he's doing way better. He's healthier than he would ever been before. Like things are going good, and that's kind of worrisome a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but with even not the complete eradication of like violence or anything, but just the small decline of wars and man against man violence or whatever, it's becoming more research and stuff, more playing God basically.
Yeah.
And that's not even getting rid of violence completely. That's just a small decline. So yeah, we'll do this.
Well, didn't Elon Musk say about the Neuralink that it would also help with like full restoration of like body parts if
Stop playing with Neuralink. I'm not doing it.
I haven't looked into Neuralink because I don't even like the idea of it, so I have not looked because I'm just like, fuck that. I don't
I
even
feel
care
like
enough.
that's in a sense playing God too.
Oh, he definitely wants
yeah.
to play God 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've been playing God for a while, though. Think about it. GMOs.
Yeah.
We've been modifying plants and stuff, so what's stopping us from doing it ourselves? Shit, I mean, nothing, honestly.
Yeah.
Just money, essentially. What government is going to first try it?
You know,
And
big
what
bucks
government
for
will
it.
follow suit?
Big bucks.
Let me pose a question though. Would we play God if we get rid of violence, or would we play God and then violence would disappear after? Because if we play God and we find a way of immortality, what point of violence would there be if you're now immortal?
So, it's large-scale violence.
feel
Violence
like
always exists.
This even goes
Yeah.
back to the Cain and Abel.
Oh yeah, no,
Like, it's
that's when it
always
first started.
It's always existed.
Yeah, violence will always exist. The scientist that wrote the theory is purely large-scale violence. Like,
Yeah,
groups of people are fighting other groups of people. Not just like, some hood or something. Like large-scale violence, like trying to take countries and stuff. Once we get to the point where governments are intact, like for a while, then we'd start playing God. Violence would then ensue in other ways. It wouldn't be physical violence if we're all immortal. It would be other ways, right? Like, I couldn't even fathom it. But I'm saying some form of malintent, malicious intent will always exist in some
Yes.
To
form.
inflict pain on somebody else.
Yeah. Let's say we get to the point where there's no pain. Then the violence is no longer physical in any regard. We go back so far, history repeats itself, so maybe then we get to the point where we're all immortal, we don't feel pain. Okay, now you can't read anymore. There's the violence. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just it's not punching you, it's just mental violence because that's the only thing left if there's no
feel
physical.
like it would go into annihilation before anything.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
no,
no,
we
mankind
will never get to that point.
destroy itself before.
You know.
But see, there's a
Yeah.
show that I just remembered, and I gotta find it, and I actually want to watch it because it was only like the first episode I watched. The whole concept of the show is we're basically immortal, My fault.
Oh no, you're good. I'm just.
Yeah. Well, basically immortal, but what it is it's all mental, basically. There's like a chip or something in your mind that they're able to take out. So if you commit a crime and stuff, they freeze your body, they freeze your mind and stuff, right? Until X amount of time is paid or whatever. If you're killed, your body's killed, they give you a new body, like a suit, basically. And you live again, and you're immortal, or you can choose to do that, but that's only really among like richer or more wealthier people.
What's the show called?
I can't remember, and I really want to watch it.
Okay, for some reason, I never watched it. Fuck.
Well,
Isn't Altered Carbon about that? Or is Altered Carbon more genetically modified?
wouldn't it
I don't
be
know.
like a brain transplant where
Kind of.
But then that's also assuming the consciousness is in the mind. Well, the
See,
soul,
that
the
is
soul
a-
is
yeah,
in the
that's a
mind and
whole
stuff,
nother
which
issue.
is crazy.
Yeah, actually.
That's a whole
So-
other issue. Is like, is our mind actually our mind or just our soul? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very strange. That's a whole nother fuck.
I'm telling you, if they have files on energy,
Well, soul is a completely different thing. I don't feel like you can even research soul because it's purely a spiritual thing, and most scientists and stuff don't even believe in spiritual, so they won't ever research it.
Huh.
If anything, they'll research it to disprove it, basically.
true.
Let me see if I can find this now. I want to know.
Yeah, I know. I think Altered Carbon.
It
about
is.
that. Yeah.
That's the first thing that popped
I
up.
never
Altered
watched a
Carbon.
show. I somehow fucking remembered that. What trailer I watched about the
Let
show.
me see if this is actually. Hold on. Let me see if it pops up. Come on, hurry up and load. I think it is.
Altered Carbon.
It is because he
Carbon,
comes
I've heard
out
it's pretty
like
good.
it says out of the past is episode 1. So yeah, the dude it comes out and he's just now being defrosted and stuff like that and released, and people want him dead. Like his chip or soul would have destroyed because he killed somebody, whatever. And there's like a whole protest against allowing people to have new sleeves and new bodies. And it's really interesting. I kind of want to go back and watch it. I want to
Interesting.
shoot. But that's all I gotta
Yeah,
say.
that's a
man.
whole ethical issue, bro. That's too many questions. See,
Questions lead to more questions.
That's what I'm saying. You can't get out of it. You can't get out. Is that episode 6?
I think so.
Episode
Was
6
it
in the
episode
book?
6 or episode 5?
5.
Episode 5.
Yeah, 5.
I
Remember
did.
some guy named English with Thai, your accent and fluency coach?
Hey, what's up, Ty?
Hey, what's good,
What do you say? What do you say?
That's time.
This is
Yeah,
what he said. He
Thai.
said, with that mind, I just want to say one thing. And you quote unquote, look at your partner the same way Tyrone looks at food.
Yo,
True.
called your dumbass out.
And then he brought up, when we were speaking about Kanye, he was like, oh no, Kanye again, come on, well, LMAO. Dude, he said Hitler invented the microphone.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
What?
he also said he
I did not
invented
know that. I
highways.
did not know that.
Yeah, he did say
Yeah,
that.
he also said he
I'm
invented
telling you,
highways.
some of
and
the
stuff.
shit he says is outlandish.
It was fact.
It's not fact. It's not even
That's
fact.
not a fact.
It's not even fact.
Hey, point back to the behind you again, bro.
Point back. Yep.
I condone his actions.
Yeah, keep in mind the microphone was made about 100 years before Hitler, so. This dude doesn't know what he's talking about half the time.
Wasn't it made by Andrew? No.
It was made by Andrew Tate.
No, it's Graham. I can't remember his first name.
Alexander Graham Bell?
Yeah.
No, he made the telephone. Microphone was before that, I think. Because the microphone is in the telephone, technically.
Yeah, true.
So to some extent, the microphone would already have to be invented.
I have a question. How did you take a picture of the first camera to ever be created?
Paintings.
With another camera.
So what's the first camera to ever be created?
Well, you
Unless
take a picture of the camera later.
But
Well,
it
no,
was
no,
like
no,
it was
it
like
goes
they
back
just
to
finished making the first camera created, and they're all gathered around it. Like, wait a minute. It's just a stupid joke.
It's called
It's a stupid
camera
thing.
obscura.
Obscure.
That's another
Okay.
planet.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Jesus Christ.
Dying, bro.
Alright, we gotta cut this episode off before it goes too long again. We're gonna get on
Hey.
that whole topic.
I just want to say one last thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, do your outro.
One last thing. I'm just close in line with no hair. If you ever see fighting the bush with a grizzly bear, help the bear.
Oh man.
That's That's so
Second
like
ever money shot for Willie boys.
You still got the glasses?
Shit. I
Get me.
don't got enough apple
What about
cider, I don't
Tyson?
think.
Nah,
Yeah.
gotta get a new one.
Oh man.
Are we off or are you still off?
You guys
You do the outro. You
I don't
gotta
care. I expected you to cut it off when he was doing his dumb shit.
See you guys later.